This is Selena Yvette, host of Stories from Planet Earth. Thanks for listening to the following show on Public House Media.
A good half of the art of living is resilience. Hello, welcome to Choose Your Rise. Welcome back. I'm so grateful that you're here with me. Doing these podcasts has been therapeutic for me and helpful for me in trying to figure out these crazy times right now. And I hope that they are for you as well, that by plugging in, you're able to learn some new strategies. You're able to kind of reflect on your own life and figure out what are some ways that you need to plug in and find some new thoughts, some new ideas on how to rise up and live your best life. And today we're going to be talking about building resilience. And resilience is our ability to cope in the face of adversity, trauma, or stress. And I'm kind of going to take a stab at it that you're probably facing some sort of adversity, trauma, or stress right now in these crazy times that we're living in. This COVID thing has completely taken over, erased our calendars, taken away our big plans and goals and sometimes dreams. And, it's really about, there's so much that's taken from our plates, but really thinking about how we can overcome this, how we can, get a refresher course here today on what resilience is and what it looks like, and that we can make it to the other side of these hard times better and stronger than we started. Also focusing on the fact that we are super blessed that we get to have these fun things in our life, right? And even if we don't get to have them, there's probably somebody out there that has it worse. And we should just be grateful that we have some of these things in our life. But still, it's hard. I know that mentally, even if you were looking forward to some trip that maybe you've never gone on before, or something that was totally routine, like baseball season. I mean, I'm just wearing all my baseball shirts because I just miss it. But working through the hard times, helping ourselves, helping our kids, helping each other work through the face of adversity, trauma, and stress is something that I definitely want to be here for you and help serve you and encourage you. So today I want to share with you 10 tips, some 10 strategies, some little reminders to help you make it out of this better in the end, right? Time's going to pass anyway. Things are going to happen anyway. And so let's get better in the process. Let's use the time wisely. And so the first tip I have for you is to remember that bad feelings don't last, have a purpose, and they have a purpose, and they prompt us to do things differently. So when all of this started, there were some negative feelings about it. There still are some negative feelings about it. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. And it's just a matter of really owning what those feelings are and feeling the feelings. So remember that bad feelings don't last. Feelings are an emotion. Feelings are something that will come and go, and they only last as long as you allow them to last. Where your focus goes, your energy goes, and where your mindset goes is how you feel and how you respond to things. And so if you want to really learn from these things, like feel the feels, feel the sadness, feel the hurt, feel the disappointment, but then move through them and understand that they have a purpose and what can they teach us and what can we do differently to feel something different, to think something different, to really understand that their setbacks are normal and that we just need to see that even in these difficult times that we can overcome and we can do things differently. So the second thing to kind of as a strategy is to try to normalize setbacks. And we talk a lot about how failure is an opportunity to learn, how setbacks can teach us something and we can grow from them, whether it's growing in mindset, growing in skill, growing in ability, growing in how we respond and choosing differently. We mature in these types of situations, and helping yourself and your children see that it's not unusual to have difficulties in life. It's not unusual to have setbacks like this. And so it's really about how you respond to these situations that matters. It's really about how you face this adversity and how you walk through it that's going to determine whether these setbacks, whether the stress, whether this whole pandemic thing is going to have a positive effect on you or a negative effect on you. The third one is help each other see that problems can be solved. I know that I personally love working with women who, and others in general, but specifically my team is made up of women who are problem solvers, who are solution seekers, who are looking for a way to to overcome and to work through something versus woe is me. And so when you can really help kids especially, and those people around you, to see problems as something that can be solved. A lot of people will say that if you have a problem that can be solved, you really don't have a problem, right? Like if you can just take action on something, you don't necessarily have a problem. You have something that can be solved. So definitely look for solutions is my tip, I guess. The next strategy is to encourage people to keep things in perspective. The problem is usually confined to only one part of their lives. And I know it feels like this COVID thing is impacting everything, but one thing that you have 1,000% control over is your perspective and your response to how situations are happening. And so if you are looking for ways that you can, change what's going on in life, it's all about changing your perspective. Instead of looking at all the things that are being taken from you, start looking at all the blessings that you have in your life. Where can you find attitude of gratitude in all of this? Where can you value humor? Where can you laugh more? Where can you, find a release of tension? Where can you go on a walk and bask in the sunshine? Where can you find the good in the situations, right? And the next one is remember the value of laughter. Remember the value of connection, and do those things, and they will help you be stronger and more vital pieces of your life that you'll be able to hold on to and really build that resilience in the world. The next one is to remember that you can accept responsibility for your actions, okay? Encourage people to accept responsibility for your actions by role modeling that for yourself. So I had an emotional setback the other day. I was definitely a pity party for myself the entire day. I did some things, I said some things I wasn't necessarily proud of, but then I accepted my responsibility for my actions. I apologized to my family. I talked about it with other people. I sought solutions and asked for forgiveness. I went forward in a way that was seeking solutions, that it wasn't necessarily going to not happen again. I'm just taking action on improving my mental health so that it doesn't happen as often as it maybe would otherwise. And I'm super grateful for the opportunity and the ability that I've taken, the time, the opportunity that I've taken to grow my mindset and to work on my mental health, because that is really what's holding me through during these times right now. And so the next one I have for you is to, when you're reading stories or discussing events, point out how people manage to overcome the difficulties. So a lot of times when people are reading the news or listening to the news, it's all about things that are hard. They're all about the events of all the negative things that are happening, right? Reporting all the bad stuff. It seems to be what's always on the news these days. But instead, I would encourage you to, when you read these things or you're discussing all of this stuff, that you point out the good things that are happening. So instead of reporting the death toll and being so focused on all the new cases of COVID that are happening in your life, what if instead you focused on the positive things? How many people are overcoming it? How many people are, surviving the situation? Looking for the positive stuff. In one of our team pages this week, we're focusing on good news. And so instead of getting into the news feed and finding a whole bunch of negative stuff, we're flooding our news feed, our team page with good news, finding news articles, seeking out solutions of people that are doing good things at this time, and then posting it in our team page so we can all be uplifted with these kinds of things. And the next one is remember that learning is often frustrating, right? This is for all our homeschooling moms out there. Encourage each other to persist and believe that they can get there, okay? I'm encouraging all of you moms too, all you women, all these dads who listen as well, encouraging everyone to persist and believe that they can get there. If you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, if you don't have your Disneyland adventure on the other end, it's really hard to go places. And that's with any goal in life, right? It's really hard to keep going when you don't know what you're going for. And so I would say, put that experience, put that goal out at the end, it's kind of the thing that you're working towards. And maybe don't put a deadline on it, and just say, when this gets over, we're going to go do this, instead of, I've had a lot of things wiped off my calendar this year, big events that we were looking forward to. And one of my good friends today said, when this is over, we're going to go to Disneyland. When this is over, we're going to go on a camping trip. When this is over. And so then it's not so much of it's not a deadline with a date, but it's a situational outcome that we can really focus on. And so remembering that even though life is frustrating, encouraging to persist and to believe that you will get there in the end and have hope. And those are all good things. The next one is provide support. Help each other see that there are people who care about them and that they can give them help and advice when needed. Not to isolate, but to connect and communicate with other people, support each other, find a positive group of people that are uplifting and supportive and want the best for you. And so when you can plug into groups like that, I'm just so grateful for my team of women from all over the country that I can just call at a drop of a hat or type in a text thread or plug into a Facebook group and find somebody that is going to be a positive light for me, that's going to give me good advice, that's going to help encourage me and remind me of all the good things that are happening in my life. We all need people like that in our world. Who are those people for you? The next one and the last one I have for you is to create a positive environment, emphasizing importance of relationships and having a sense of purpose. And, relationships matter. When you can really focus your being, your existence, your, the joys in your heart and your mind with the people in your life, we are called to be in community. We're called to be positive and helpful with each other. We're called to connect and support each other. And when you can plug into those kinds of groups or find those kinds of people in your life, you can have so much more and you have something to really go after. So I would say encourage each other to plug in, be positive, find some good positive relationships in your life, provide support from each other, get connected. Remember that you are capable of coming of this on the other side, that when you're looking at the news or you're finding stories to read, that you're looking for the good things. When you're encouraging people to take responsibility for their actions and you're by doing it yourself, that you can remember the value of humor and laughter and joy, and you are creating in your life that you're encouraging people to keep perspective of where they're at in life and where other people are in their lives as well, helping people see that problems can be solved by looking for solutions. Normalizing setbacks, that failure is not the be all end all. It is something that we can learn and grow from, and that bad feelings don't last. They are just things that we think, things that we feel, and that we can overcome them all by thinking different thoughts, by changing our hearts, changing our minds, and becoming better people by the end. I know that this time is tough. I know that there are so many emotions running through people's hearts and minds right now, but if we can focus on the good and keep reminding each other of the good that is happening in this world, we'll all come out of this stronger and better for it. And all of this will be for a reason. I don't believe that this is a punishment. I don't believe that this is, this is something that's horrible and horrific. I believe that this is trying to teach us something, and that God has bigger plans for us. And that when we really focus our intention more on our faith, and when we focus our attention more on the good things, the positive energy in the world, that we become more free, that we become more faith-filled, and that we will have a better, stronger life going from this forward. So thanks so much for joining me today. If you like this episode or there's something here that spoke to you, please respond. Let me know what it is that you loved. Tell other people about Choose to Rise. Connect with me on social media at kjpmeyer. I look forward to connecting with you. I love hearing from my listeners and how I can better serve you going forward. And it just warms my heart to hear from all of you. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you back here again next time.